If you like to focus on the positive and steer away from the negative, you're in the right place. Welcome, all Joy Bunnies. This is the My Slice of Life podcast. Welcome to this bonus episode for the My Slice of Life podcast. This little story, it's a true story. It's another one of those random acts of kindness which we as a family were on the receiving end of many years ago, and it is many years ago because Dira's son was only about 5 or 6 at the time. We decided to go camping up the west coast of Scotland. It's a fantastic place to camp. It was really nice. We had been to Ullapool and then we decided we would go on and find another area and spend some time there, so that's what we did. When we got there, oh man, it was breathtaking. It wasn't busy at the campsite, the bit we looked at, and it's quite hard to describe, but if you imagine this flat bit of grass looking out to the sea, and on either side there was just slopes. It wasn't huge hills, but slopes going up. I mean, the bit of grass that was flat in the middle, it was huge, really. It was very, very big. So it's like this kind of valley, but it wasn't at the bottom of a mountain. It's just like this valley inlet. I'm not sure what the right word would be. Anyway, we decided, let's put our tent there. And we had quite a big tent. It's an 8-man tent because it gives us a living room and, separate rooms to store stuff and sleep in and things. So it's a really, really good tent. We just haven't used it very much since. And I'll tell you why. Where we put up our tent, we got a fantastic view of the ocean. It was great. And we were close to the shop and they had a laundry and they had a place you can go and get fish and chips, stuff like that. And you can go for big long walks. And that's what we did. And for the first couple of days, it was great. It was just really good. Me and Dira's son would go for long walks and we'd come back and, tell Dad all about it, that kind of thing. This one day, the weather took a turn for the worst. And I mean, it was pelting rain and the wind was going, you could see the tent. I'm thinking, oh, this isn't going to last, this is not good. And then we decided we'll go and get fish and chips and then we'll come back and we'll start packing up because it was obvious there was no way we were going to be able to stay there. So we went and got the fish and chips, and as we're walking back, I was like, oh my God. When you see something and you just think there's nothing I can do, I'm just going to have to deal with it. As we got closer to the tent, we could see the wind had gotten so bad, it had actually snapped. The tent poles, a few of them had snapped. They were sticking out at all angles. So bad, it was one of those situations where you're like, well, we can't fix this. We just have to, pack everything and go. But at the same time, we were so sick of it that we thought, let's get in the car, eat our fish and chips, and then we'll deal with that. So we're in the car. And we get this knock in the window, and there's a guy that my husband had been speaking to over the couple of days we'd been there, and he's like, do you want a hand to pack up? And we're like, it's okay, we're going to have a fish and chips and then we're going to do it, thanks, do that. But the weather was getting worse and worse, and I kid you not, 5 minutes later, the same guy turned up with a squad of young guys. Don't know who they were, don't know where they came from, because by this point it was only camper vans that were left. Everybody else had gone. There's a couple of campers, so we don't even know where they came from. And I was told, you concentrate on your son, get him in the car, get all the stuff packed up that you need, we'll deal with the tent. I was like, what? I mean, just go, get your stuff, because this weather's getting really bad. I mean, stuff's flying all over the place. Me and Dira's husband had already said, how the hell are we going to wrap up this tent, just the two of us, with this wind going, because we couldn't get a 5-year-old to sit on it, you know what I mean? So I started packing up, the clothes. Now luckily, because we could see the weather getting bad, I'd already packed up quite a lot of stuff, so I didn't have that much to do. So I did all that, and I turned round, this squad of guys, it was like military precision. They worked as such a team, and like I say, I don't know who they were. They had our tent down, packed up, folded and in the car almost as quick as I got the stuff in the car, for clothes and stuff that we'd taken. We couldn't quite fit everything in because it wasn't packed quite as neatly as before, as you can imagine with the rush. But I put my last thing in the car, turned round to say thank you to all the guys, and they'd gone. I don't know where they went. We never saw them leave. We never saw them arrive, but we never saw them leave. It was as if they just scattered with the wind. The only person who was there was the guy who my husband had been speaking to originally, and I couldn't thank him enough. I said, "You're an angel. You are an angel." I said, "I didn't know how we were going to get this all packed up and away, and that's why I was sitting in the car, because my head was just, I can't deal with this." And he said, "You're fine. Go home. Take your family home. You're safe. You've got everything. You're welcome." And that was it. We never saw that squad of guys. I don't know who they were. We have absolutely no idea who they were. I cannot tell you how grateful we were for those people who helped us, came out of nowhere, helped us get everything taken down, packed up in the car. We were ready to go in no time. And then they disappeared. It was wonderful. I often think of those people, and I would really like to get a big thank you out to them even now, because like I say, I didn't know who they were, so I couldn't send them a thank you or anything. So remember that. If you see somebody struggling, don't be afraid to go and say, "Would you like a hand?" Because let me assure you, it's very, very welcome. So until next time, you take care of your wee self and anybody else you come across who needs your help.